Okay. In that case, do we want to go do a quick overview of what happened last week?
Sure. I know I started in prison, um, trying to intimidate the guardian, who was not to be intimidated. Ended up calling my counsel, which is the High Magistrate of Werner, cleric of here, and various stuff happened. And then by the time I showed back up at the bar, I had nothing to be imprisoned about. It was great.
And for Samrio?
Uh, Trying to remember. I know Samrio went and visited his vampire friend because he wanted to get some inside counsel on what to do about the whole Nystaya confessing and being arrested thing, and basically said that, if we had a character witness, that might be Nystaya's best defense. So I think we mentioned talking to that paladin, or approaching that paladin about testifying about what exactly happened that night with the guards. That's all I kind of remember.
I was going to say, don't forget, I think Samrio was drunk the entire session.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I didn't start nothing. Do you think they know I put sleeping potion in their stuff? And for Nystaya?
Nystaya, in an attempt to try and understand what an angel would like in a person, decided that acts of goodness would probably be a good place to start, and so she admitted her crimes to try and get the others out of it. She was... Well, they tried to arrest her and were trying to be violent about it, to which she was like, no, fuck you, took out
I'm better at violence than you are.
Yeah. Took out a bunch of guards, and then was like, okay, now I give up. And then she got sent to jail, and they're like, yo, just turning yourself in and admitting to it isn't that great. Still, you're still gonna get arrested to fuck. And she's like, oh great, goodness. Everyone says just goodness is like good for you, and good things come to you if you're a good person. And she's like, well, I just did a good thing, and worse things happened, so fuck all of you.
You tried hard and you failed miserably. So the moral is, don't try.
Don't fucking just... Being evil was being much better for her.
Right. You also ran into the witch clique.
Yes, she made friends. Well, I guess...
Kiska.
Yeah. Yes, she made some witch clique friends, which will be great when they make her do things later. And yeah, she met with I think his main thing was a lawyer, right? He was a big shot.
Yeah.
Who was like, yo, if you can get proof or like a statement from that paladin that those guards were like being purposely violent with you even after you'd given up, then that would be huge. And Nystaya was like, yo, like there's loads of things that I guess I could try to like say I would do, like plea deals and stuff that I'm willing to do. Just get me out of prison.
I'm a celebrity. Get me out of prison. All right. So, who do we want to begin with? You are now all got a bunch of stuff going on. People in some bad places.
I think it would be good for like Samrio and Rath to be meeting with the paladin.
Okay.
And seeing if he's willing to vouch for a demon.
I just checked a paladin name generator, and it did not do me wrong.
I can't
Sir Goods
wait.
a lot or something? Or...
Sir Goods-a-Lot. No, nothing so cheesy as Sir Goods-a-Lot. This is Gawain Dawnguard.
Gawain.
Oh gosh.
Oh, let's go with. We're kind of basically doing like a sort of forgotten. At least using Forgotten Realms gods. forgot the original Forgotten Realms said. I should look back through it at some point to remember who some of those people
I,
were.
I always just search a wiki.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Like Forgotten
Helm.
Realms, God, Justice.
Helm looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Guardians, Protectors, and Protection.
Sir Gawain.
So Gawain, no relation.
Literally Gwen. Jesus.
I said just
No, Gawain.
I love name generators. I have a hard time for names for RPGs. Gets a generator. Okay, so you know that Gawain. He was the one that yelled at all of the Guardians last night. Do you go to? Well, we'll say you guys probably know him well enough to know where he lives. Do you want to stop by there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Seek him out where he's comfortable.
Yeah, occasionally you may have helped him back. Comes up bloodied and such from being down. We've had a rough run, or just I'm assuming there's a decent chance enough of you have been invited to gatherings and feasts and holiday stuff with some of the people who come there quite a bit. That you're kind of like part of the group. Yeah, sort of knock on his door and he's a big dude. Like he's one of those that just sort of has like a very large axe, even in those small corridors. He's just sort of big enough to muscle it down with people. So he's kind of opens up the door, and depending on how tall you are, you kind of look up and up, and he sees you. He's like, Rath, Samrio. I'd like to say this is a surprise, but come on in.
Thank you.
Something to drink?
No, thank you. I don't drink this early in the day.
Water is a drink, Rath.
I look over at Samrio and just quirk my eyebrow. I'm like, sorry, I forget where I am.
Because I've got ale too. I'm just saying.
Water's fine.
Gawain, you turn the tables on me. I'm used to serving you. So whatever you're having this morning, I'll have.
Sort of smiles a bit. He pours a thing of water for Rath, and then pours a pretty hearty ale, like one that kind of like definitely like not a morning ale. Comes and he goes. So.
I look at the Samrio.
Gawain, this may seem like a bit of an odd question, but we kind of need a favor.
Okay. So I'll have you go ahead and ask. What I'm going to do is, because at this point we don't have like a larger history with Nystaya or with Gawain, so I'm just going to roll the Doom pool to see essentially like how well things even out. Because as a paladin, he would give an honest accounting of what he has seen and said, but that honest accounting might be good or it might be bad. So, I'm going to go ahead and roll.
It might be good or it might be true.
But Nystaya is like worse.
Oh, okay. I've got a 14. So he goes, and what favor would you need?
We need a character witness for Nystaya and testimony about what happened the other night. Remember those guards you healed up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to prove that those guards were acting out of line.
That they instigated this whole ordeal by their, let's just say, not following strict protocol and dealing with the young lady.
I can speak to that, and I can speak honestly to that. My worry is going to be, and I'm glad to speak with them, but you do realize that there is a history of some troubles. So at this point, I'll have one of you roll to basically see, does she come out okay in the wash, or
What are we rolling for?
Yeah, whoever's kind of defending her at this point. So I've got a 14. and this is mostly the Doom pool to sort of look at. Yeah, he can talk about what happened last night, but they are going to be asking also about the patterns in the history, and we have seen some of that history that might not come out as well in the wash. So part of us to see how he views. Does he become essentially an asset for Nystaya, or does he become one for the Guardians?
Position. You want to roll, or do you want me to roll?
You could try Rath. You're
Okay.
pretty persuasive.
So are you
sometimes.
gonna aid with something?
Sure. How does aid work in this game?
Okay. So one of the things that you are able to do is it would probably be
Probably the likable Samrio.
Yeah, so I think with because one problem with it is it keeps switching back and forth between the different flavors as we're doing heroic on a different one. I think what you can probably do is I'll keep the 14 for what he's rolled for the thing, but if you want to make a separate roll, you can basically like talk about what she's done. You can create an asset for Rath to use.
Okay. What's an example of an asset? Is that just like an opening?
Asset could just be a reminder of, because like in this case,
Remember, I saw everything, and like leading him with the keyword.
You know what, yeah, I think I'm gonna play on Gawain's nostalgia and loyalty towards the end, because Gawain's been coming there for a while and has leveled up there. That's what I'm gonna play on.
Okay, so I just have a 10 for, because I lowered it because that's not as rough as like the Doom Pool stuff, to the 2d8s. So there's a 10 total there, and if you succeed in that, whatever die effect you get will be given to Rath for his.
Okay. So I just roll like normally, like values and relationships, all that. So
yeah, then like tell us what you're saying to him.
Yeah, I think I'm like, Gawain, been coming to the end for years. I mean, the proprietor himself has helped you out with the, dropping hints with explorations of the dungeon. I mean, I've served you countless drinks. Countless. And
literally could not be counted.
And I think that, if he could do this, for a friend, for someone that's known you for years. And I think I'm going to roll honesty, because I am being honest with him. Mm-hmm. I don't think any relationships really fit here.
Proprietor.
Oh yeah, the proprietor. That's a D10. Unlikable D8. And
people like me.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Do we start with 2 plot points or 1?
2.
Okay. So D8, D10, D8. D8, D10, D8. Let's roll these. Let's see. That's I only have to beat a 10.
Yeah, which you're gonna beat by.
Yeah, I'll give it a D10
by more than 5, so that'll actually turn it into a D10.
So I get a D10 added or in addition to the pool?
You can basically get a D10 as an addition to the pool. So it's an asset you get to roll along with it.
Okay. So I'm going to remove all those. So I'm going to challenge my honesty, because right now the truth will get me in trouble. And that's exactly what I'm not trying to do.
She's a
I'm going
pain
to
in
use
the ass demon.
my relationship with Nystaya. So I'm trying to take care of her. So 3d10, a d8, and I don't think any of my distinctions actually apply, which is why I kind of needed a challenge too. So 4d10, a d8, and roll all dice. So I will use. Let's see. Check dice are total. Check dice is effect. Else. I do a 12 with a D10 effect.
He had a 14.
Oh. Well, then I would have done something different. I was looking at Samrio's. So I will spend a plot point to include one more dice, and so I will do, let's see, that. Roll. 16 with a D10.
Okay. So he thinks for a little bit. I never believed that I would drink and have custom with demons in my time, but both the proprietor and Nystaya have been good people, oddly enough. And
Is he talking about the same Nystaya?
Jen, I mean, the thing is the adventurers have a tendency to know not to, like, molest you and kind of be a pain in the ass. It's the idiots who come in.
I guess so.
Because, like, so far, really, most of your violence has not happened because she's gone looking for it. It's more, she just doesn't handle being pissed off well.
Yeah.
And she's around a bunch of drunk people who also, a bunch of them out front, because sometimes they're bitter wannabes. So they think, hey, it's a demon. You know what demon chicks are into. Apparently, it's angels. Yeah, so, like, so far, most of, like, and in all honesty, between both how you sort of helped out the proprietor, what you did here, and the fact that when these fights have happened, again, it's been usually because of other people. So he can give you a fairly good report. It comes down. It may not go over, like, amazingly well, but I mean, with Paladin coming and speaking on behalf of a demon is going to be
right, and giving the truth.
Yeah, and particularly with that D10 effect die, he's going to be kind of rather fiery about it. Okay, he goes, would you like to come with me as I speak to them?
Sure, I would like to see this.
Okay. Nystaya. So, one of the problems with prison, particularly the one that you've been put into, is it's one where a number of the people there have abilities, magic. I mean, one of the problems is there's a lot of people who could just easily sort of leave. Now, there's a lot of wards and such that are placed here, but you also have it's almost the equivalent of like a supervillain supermax sort of thing. It's just you have got some fairly powerful folk that are there, and
She's quite happy they consider her dangerous and badass enough to put her into.
yeah, and like you've kind of got to know the witches and such, but there's one in particular, Dolores Trevorrow. Dolores is essentially she's the head of a gang essentially that is formed in there, people who are protecting each other, and she has not taken much of a liking to you. You look into her, you think that she's got maybe a bit of giant inside of her because she's huge.
Oh, she's big.
She's very big, the kind where like she's got a duck going through a lot of doors and occasionally has to like actually turn sideways.
Oh, I love her.
And one of the things about her is because she is as big as she is and physically intimidating, it's kind of done a lot to give her some power. And the thing is, she kind of sees you with the witches. You start to hear a couple whisperings that essentially that the witches now have a demon with them, so that they are kind of being a little more forward in some areas. It kind of might be a problem. There's one day you're in the yard, And Dolores approaches you. And so, you're the new hot shit here?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'm new.
New. Kind of looks over and you see like the members of the coven who are here as well as their hangers-on are kind of right now they've been engaged in conversation with another group, and you see part of those groups are keeping an eye on Dolores. She goes, yeah, you may be new here, but you seem to have hooked up with the crew pretty quick.
I mean, yeah, they were nice and stuff.
They're nice and stuff. You realize how they're running their mouth about you?
What are they saying?
Oh, shit. Telling everybody now that they've got a demon on their side, they're going to start taking over more in here. They're starting to already cut into some of the territory. And one of two things is happening. Either you and me are going to have some problems, or you too stupid to realize you're being used.
Oh, God.
And she's sort of towering over you, and she's pushing you. At this point, I've got a 16 total. And she's trying to either get you angry or insecure.
Cool.
Neither of which you've been recently.
I'm just waiting for the day she becomes exhausted. One day.
I never get exhausted. I'm angry a lot.
Angry.
Oh shit! Actually, I should roll one more d10 because if you are insecure.
Oh no.
Let me just roll check dice. Oh, that's a 1.
Hey.
So that won't do anything.
Someone buy that off.
You can't actually because I put the doom pool because things are getting kind of worse and worse at a d10, at 2d10. So right now the doom pool is just 2d10.
Okay.
I wish this place had a thing for doom pool.
16.
Oh wait, one-click mode for dice checkboxes. Wait a minute, what's that? Oh yes, he did it. I hit the one-click mode for dice checkboxes. Now, if you click once, it says total, another time effect, a third time it goes away.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
How is she going to handle this situation? So how tall is she? Like 8 foot?
Yeah, about 8.5. I mean, there's a certain point where it just becomes real tall.
Yeah. So like normally she would just totally like square up and like push her chest against someone else's and get super close, like face to face. But she does it and like I don't know, her chest is up against her stomach or something.
I will take out your thigh.
Okay. The main thing going through her head is I can't cause trouble. Already in shit. I do want to get out of here. So this person is like the queen bee authority in this place.
Yeah, she's one of them.
Okay.
Like her, she's got a crew that handles a lot of the, essentially a lot of the the illicit drug trade and such is coming and goes through her.
Okay. God, I don't know how she would handle this. Fuck.
Can't kick her out of the scene, Nystaya.
Oh God. God, I fucking hate the witch click, but crossing them is social sorting. I think she's gonna lie because she's very good at lying.
I'm a demon. It's what I do. And I can say that. Because I'm a demon.
Yeah, I think she tries to square up a little bit and looks up at them and says, listen, I'm gonna be out of here in like a day, so they can say all the shit that they want, but if I'm not here, then they're gonna quickly find that spouting my name around the place is just gonna get them in more trouble, which is something that you want. And besides, I'm not doing them favors, they're kind of doing me favors. If they want to stay my friend, and I'm going to be on the outside very soon, they're running their mouth off isn't going to get them many favors with me on the outside. But say I made some new friends in here, I could do them favors. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think she literally says wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and like nudges like her stomach.
I'm not a subtle demon.
Cool. This is 100% daring. Is there any sort of thing that, if I'm acting directly against one of my relationships, I can't use any die relaying?
You can challenge that. If it would challenge a relationship, you can do that.
I'm kind of crossing them right now, the witch click.
Mm-hmm.
So let's challenge it. Fuck it. Sorry, that steps down.
Yeah, so if you challenge it, it triples for this roll and then steps down.
Yeah. Where did that do 10? I'm going to spend a plot point to roll my insecure against her because talking really isn't her wheelhouse. And she's trying this in order to not get violent and not get in trouble with like the law again.
I'm used to being in the punching mode.
But punching at the moment is very bad. I want to get out of here. Roll. Best total. Best effect. She said she got a 15.
16.
So I got 17 and a d6.
Okay. So, at which point, yeah, she kind of looks at you for a moment, and then you have what, D10 is your highest?
What do you mean?
The D10 is your current highest stress?
Yeah.
So yeah, she looks at you for a moment and then just... Nope. Goes... So you're saying if something bad happens to the witches for overstepping, there are not going to be any repercussions, even if... And we've been told there's a good chance you'll be here for a while because the Guardians are pissed off at you.
Yeah. She shrugs and says, "If I'm in here for a while, which I'm really not gonna be, then it's gonna become my problem, and I'm gonna have a word, just air quotes, with them myself for overstepping. But if you were to have a word with them yourselves for them overstepping, I'm not going to get involved with that. You have my blessing."
Kind of smiles, and so you've created a D8 asset that's a problem for the witches. You had a D6, but succeeded by a lot. At which point she sort of smiles and sort of looks over and gives like a bit of a hand gesture. You see the ones that are talking to them get a little bit, start to go essentially into mode where they're going to be doing something about it. And at that point, you hear Nystaya!
Spins around.
You've got visitor.
Oh, good. She pats the giant lady on the arm and says, "If this is it, I'll see you around." And then heads off.
Okay. All right. So when you go in, you're led into a room with Gawain, who you probably were not expecting to see here. Samrio and Rath. The three of you were escorted here. There's going to be shortly one of the wardens will be coming in, because the fact that a paladin has come in and essentially asked to speak with them is definitely going to help quite a bit.
I think the first thing she does is put her hands on her hips and says, "Is this your idea of conversion therapy?"
Like, nothing of the sort. Sir Gawain is willing to act as a character witness for you and tell them about what truly happened that night.
She looks at Gawain. Hey.
Not going to be the first time that you've had that someone on the side of the law has overstepped their bounds.
Yeah. What are you going to tell them? Because I don't know why I'm constantly honest around you guys right now, but paladins and I have never really gotten along. I mean, we don't have a problem, but paladins in general are very... You know how they have that ability, sense evil or whatever it is? It goes off a lot, is what I'm saying.
Look,
What?
it's Gawain here is just here to testify that the guards were acting like assholes that night, and that wasn't what they were there for. And they instigated the whole situation. I think that's what Gawain is here to testify.